Hello, this is my review of the Diamond Select Toys Pacific Rim Gypsy Danger. Now, I really liked Pacific Rim. It's one of the better movies that I've seen in the past decade. And if I could, I would travel back in time to when it was out in theaters and watch it while it was in theaters. It's just one of those movies that uh, really should have, it was meant for the theater. It is peak action. The fight scenes were amazing. The power and the weight of the Jaegers punching the kaiju to death. It was awesome. And of course, Gypsy Danger is the Jaeger that is piloted by the main characters. The figure here is covered in an amazing amount of detail. There's so much mechanical detail here. You got all this in the legs and in the arms as well, and the back of the legs. Like every detail that the model had in the movie, you see on the figure. It's even got the giant reactor in the chest that's like glowing orange. I love it. The accessories aren't that bad either. It comes with a sword arm. Now, the sword arm comes out when Gypsy Danger uh, got captured by Otachi, and then Otachi carried Gypsy Danger all the way up into like the stratosphere, and then Gypsy Danger pulled out the sword arm and sliced Otachi in half. That was an awesome scene. Absolutely amazing. And the sword doesn't look that bad either. You don't get any wrist articulation on this one, though, which is kind of weird, but I guess they wanted the sword to be able to fit. I don't know why they couldn't have just taken the regular hand and had it, move the wrist down like that and have a slot for the sword to come in, but, it's okay. At least we have a sword arm. It also comes with this cannon arm that you put onto the figure. And that looks great too. Wish there would have been some blue paint on it in the center, like what they did with the reactor chest. But again, it's really cool that we also get a cannon arm, and it looks exactly like the cannon arm from the movie. It even looks like it transforms from hand to cannon. You see here these things, which are the fingers that are supposed to like move around and shift to make room for the cannon. Now, putting the regular arm back on, you also get some accessories. You get some alternate open hands for both arms. So instead of having fists, you can just take the hands off. And you can have open hands there. Yeah. Another thing I like about this, hands are very secure. They're very secure in their pegs. Don't want the hands falling off all the time. Yeah, that looks nice. Now, what articulation, some of it is left to be desired. So the head is on, I think, a ball joint, but I can barely tell because of how limited it is. Because of Gypsy Danger's design, doesn't really leave that much head movement. You can only move it side to side a little bit, and up and down a tiny bit. But yeah, not that much. And also, the shoulder pads are on a ball joint, but they barely have any clearance. So you can't even get it moving its arm out that much. That's about as much as the arm moves out there. But the arm can move up like that. It's a little impeded by these back parts here and the shoulder pad. But what I love about this figure is that the back parts here are flexible, so you don't break them. That's a really good thing to have. I think all Gypsy Danger figures should have those parts be flexible so that you don't have any chance of breaking them. Then the elbow moves about 90. There's a bicep swivel here. Wait, I wonder if I could get it in the pose. Kinda. You can kind of get it in that sort of pose where it's putting its knuckles in its open hand like it's gonna beat something up. Anyways, the diaphragm is on a joint. It can swivel around like that, all the way around, I think. And it can crunch a little bit and arc that much. I think that kind of makes up for the lack of head articulation. Well, not complete lack, but you know what I mean. For the impeded head articulation. The legs are on some kind of ratcheting joint, but it's not like little ratchets. It's pretty big ratchets, but they can move pretty far forward and back. And they don't move out to the side that much. Yeah, that's about as far as they can spread. Mainly because that's how the legs are sort of made. They kind of get in the way of the hips, and there's no real way for anything to move around. The knees are a little wobbly. Would have liked for them to be more secure, but they do pull like a really good bend. That is a really good bend for a figure like this. Like if the legs were slimmer, I bet it could bend even more. That makes me wonder, they have a double knee joint here. Why not a double elbow joint? Why not a double elbow joint? The elbow only has one joint. Anyways, the ankles can move up and down. The heel can move back and forth to help with stability. The ankles can swivel a bit. And that means they can pivot. About that much. It's an okay pivot. I mean, it works well with the limited articulation at the hips. Yeah, some joints on this are kind of loose. Like, the joint here is a bit loose like that. I'm barely touching it, and look how much it's moving. When you shake it, it flops all over. The ratchets keep the legs from moving too much. I think it's the plastic it's made out of. Like, the entire thing's actually made out of this flexible sort of plastic. You see when I do this, it bends here. Like, these things are really flexible though. But yeah. I think the flexible plastic here is kind of in its detriment. It should have had only flexible plastic for these parts here and then nothing else. The rest should have been regular. Like, this plastic, yeah, should have been way harder. But at least we get this, like, nice paint job on the figure. I'm pretty sure this figure is like 8 inches tall, about 8 inches tall, so if you get some monster figures that are also about 8 inches tall, then that could scale well with it. In terms of ranking, like out of 10, just because I like Pacific Rim so much, I'm giving this figure like maybe maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. It's pretty good, but it has some pretty bad drawbacks in terms of the upper body's articulation, as well as the hips, the looseness of the joints. But with the accessories, if it didn't have accessories, I think I'd have it like a 4 or 5 out of 10. And if the knees weren't so good, then also that would bump the rating down a bit. But if you like Pacific Rim, Diamond Select Toys has some really nice figures. I think this figure right here was about 20 or $30, about that. So pretty good price. But I think it could, because of the joints and stuff, I think that price is a little too steep. I think it should be like, I don't know, maybe $15 or $18. maybe $20, not $29 or $30. Anyways, yeah, 6.5 out of 10. I might get more of these figures if they ever come out with more figures from Pacific Rim. Not Pacific Rim Uprising, though. That movie was bad. Anyways, bye.